What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Flex Night Shift Podcast. I am your host, Chris Raybon, and every Friday, me and Sean Kerner are talking to everybody out there clocking those late night DFS hours as we break down the Sunday night football and the Monday night football DFS slates. If you heard Sean and I talking player projections this week on the Action Network podcast, welcome back for even more good stuff. And if you haven't yet, be sure to check it out over on the Action Network podcast channel. Sean, what's going on?
What's up? I am ready for the night shift. I'm properly caffeinated. I am ready to rock. How are you doing?
Feeling good, man. Getting ready to sweat the Carolina Panthers again as we record this before Thursday night football. But pretty interesting. Some good teams here on the Sunday and Monday night slate. So excited to get into it. Let's start it off with the Sunday night game. The Chargers going not far to San Francisco to face the 49ers. The line is Niners by 7. The total is around 45, and we know the freaks come out at night. So who do you expect to have a freak performance in at the spot?
I got to go with Christian McCaffrey here. It's just too good of a spot. You know, the 49ers are pretty big 7-point home favorites here. So, you know, the Chargers will still be without Mike Williams. Keenan Allen, I guess he'll be out. You said he has a 95% chance of being out. I'll go with that. So Keenan Allen's going to be out again. So, you know, the Chargers offense could be limited. And, you know, the 49ers should have a run-heavy game script here anyway because the Chargers have a run-final defense. They rank 10th against the passing DVOA and 29th against the run. So, well, Christian McCaffrey has already looked comfortable in this offense, even though he just joined it a couple weeks ago. He should be even more comfortable after the bye week. So I just think he is the clear captain play here.
Yeah, love McCaffrey. Obviously, I think that's the smash. I'll go off the radar a little bit, give some people some options. Let's go Josh Palmer. Yeah, I think your boy.
Yes.
I actually think this is a sneaky spot for kind of what you're alluding to. The Chargers are a little bit shorthanded. This is a really tough matchup for them. And one thing that's notable about this matchup compared to many others the Chargers have played in this year is that the Niners are excellent against the run and they're excellent against backs out of the backfield. So you might still see a very high volume Justin Herbert game. And when I look at the matchups across the board for these Charger receivers, I think that Palmer going up against Diamador Lenore could be the best matchup or one of the best matchups here. And just on volume alone, again, don't think Keenan Allen's going to play. Eckler might catch fewer balls than usual. And Mike Williams is still expected to miss as well. So I think Josh Palmer, one of those negative game script 10 catch, 143-yard games where he doesn't get a touchdown or anything, but he's just kind of running wild, maybe against the prevent defense for a couple of drives late. So give me some Josh Palmer in the captain spot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I love this call. I drafted him a lot late in drafts because I thought, you know, anytime Keenan Allen's out, he can fill in for him. Anytime Mike Williams is out, he can fill in for him. He's a very versatile receiver. So with them both out, he kind of plays both roles. So had a big game last week. I'm such a donkey. I still have Keenan Allen projected for like 3 to 4 catches right now. And then later in the week, I remove him. You're ahead of the curve here. You just start off the week with him out. So right now, you know, Palmer is wide receiver 31, but once I remove Keenan Allen, he's going to jump in my top 20. So obviously I love Josh Palmer here in the captain slot as well. And he should be pretty under-owned there too.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he'll be popular on the slate itself, but I think in the captain spot, people are going to be looking at Niners. And Palmer, a very quiet 6 for 106 on 10 targets last week. His second straight 10 target, double-digit target game.
Yep. No, he's good.
He is. He is. I think we both go to that Charger Niner preseason game, and that's the first time we got to see him live.
Palmer, he scored a touchdown.
Got a touchdown.
He did, and then we saw Trey Lance throw a touchdown to
back in the old days.
It wasn't to Ayuk, was it? Was it?
It might have been. I don't know. I'm not gonna wrap
times.
Who do you like for dart throws in this matchup?
So on the 49ers side, gotta go with Ray McLeod the third here. His playing time will take a hit with Debo and Juwan Jennings likely returning to the lineup after the bye, but he's been seeing a 30 to 35% routes run rate even when everyone's healthy. And he went off for 4 catches for 65 yards and a touch in week 7 when everybody was healthy. So he's a sneaky dart throw at least on a 1-game slate. I think he could be overlooked here. And then on the Chargers side, going with your logic that Keenan Allen will be out, I'm going to have to go with Michael Bandy. He's not a great receiver, but at least he's getting a ton of playing time as the number 3 receiver in a Justin Herbert-led offense in what should be a pass-heavy comeback, trailing game script. So, we should see him run a route close to 75, 85% of the time. I believe he had, 5 catches last week. Didn't do much with it, of course, but still, the playing time's there. And for what it's worth, the 49ers ranked 31st against number 3 wide receivers. Obviously, they're going to be putting a ton of attention on Josh Palmer, DeAndre Carter. So I think Michael Bandy, he could be open on a few plays, and Josh Allen will look his way. So he's my favorite dart throw on the Chargers side.
I feel like I need to win something for just catching you qualifying Michael Bandy with he's not a great receiver. That is definitely like a party. It's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. You know exactly why you said that too.
Why did I say that? Well, okay, now
why don't you tell us?
These preseason guys, like if Lance McCutcheon, if I'm recommending him, I would say he's actually sneakily good.
Why isn't Michael Bandy? Why did you feel the need to say that Michael Bandy is not a great receiver?
He is playing out of pure necessity right now. That's why.
Yeah, it's not answering the question. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I think
the listeners will know. They'll know. They'll get it. Oh man.
No, that is not the logic I'm going with here.
All right. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard you just qualify a receiver.
I do that all the time with guys.
Not that way.
With Shi Smith too. Shi Smith. I said Shi Smith is not a good receiver, but he's going to see a shit ton of playing time. Same logic applies here. Not the direction you're going with.
That's a whole nother podcast. That doesn't count. Okay. Bandy, he was in my top 50 last week, and I don't know if I was bugging or not. I mean, I guess I had a pretty good week, so I guess it paid off. But I was like, why is he in my top 50? And
because there were 6 teams on a bye.
Yeah, I guess
that's why. Not because he's good.
Jesus. All right, moving on. I am actually not to pile on for Michael Bandy here, but I'm going with his teammate DeAndre Carter. And if you could hear me talking about Palmer and I was talking about the matchup, you might have heard the wheels turning. I think I started a little bit because there's another guy whose matchup I like in this game on the Chargers, and it's DeAndre Carter. He should be going against Jimmy Ward in the slot. Remember, Jimmy Ward is playing a bit out of position. He was the safety, but then Gibson was playing well, so they decided to make him their nickel corner. And since assuming that role on the season, he's allowed 10 of 10 targets to be caught for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 75 coverage snaps. So that's a pretty good matchup here for DeAndre Carter, who is, second or third in the pecking order on a lot of these reads now, with as long as Keenan Allen's out. After, when he looks downfield, because he's kind of the high percentage route runner on this team. Remember, Josh Palmer taking over a little bit of that Mike Williams role, so he's going to be going down the field more. So like DeAndre Carter going up against Jimmy Ward in the slot in this one, I think he's sneaky. And on the other side, I'll go with Juwan Jennings. Just a good matchup for him in this spot. The Chargers play man coverage at the 7th highest rate. Jennings has 9 targets against man coverage this year. That's second most on the team. Remember, most NFL teams don't play a lot of man, so 9 is actually a lot. He's got a team leading 37.5% of his targets coming against man, and he's seen multiple targets in every game, 3 or more in 5 of 7 games. So he's going to be on the field. They love him as a run blocker, and he could easily sneak a touchdown in. Last year, he was actually 4th on the team behind Kittle, Debo, Ayuk in red zone targets. He's only seen 1 this year, but that could tick up as the season progresses. So like buying low on some Juwan Jennings coming back from injury.
Yeah, I love the DeAndre Carter call. He's almost too good to be considered a dart throw right now, in my
Right.
opinion. But obviously, it's a great play, and also he'd be a sneaky stack with the Chargers defense because he's their punt returner and kick returner. One of my favorite. Anytime there's a touchback, he gets all pissed. Plus,
Yes.
Jimmy G's going to have one or two just horrific throws that could be potential pick sixes. So I think just the sneaky thing to do with DeAndre Carter would be to stack him with the Chargers defense because you could get the double dip with a kick return touchdown.
Yeah, I like it. Always, that's like one of the keys to, you always try to do that on these kind of slates. Just
Yep.
On DraftKings, you can. Oh wait, let me not say that. Cut that. Cut the DraftKings. But yeah, always love to do that. Get the little double dip here. Been having a lot of Chiefs games and trying it with Sky Moore, but then he lost the role, so that hasn't worked out. We got some fullbacks. We got some fullbacks on this slate. Two pretty good ones as far as DFS is concerned. Kyle Juszczyk coming back from a finger injury, and Xander Horvath for the Chargers. So I guess the question is, who's more likely to get that play action, goal line, little toss for a touchdown?
Well, that's probably Horvath, but Juszczyk is probably the most likely one to rack up 3 to 4 receptions. Juszczyk has to be the number one fullback in our DFS rankings, right? I can't think of anybody that you'd project for multiple catches, but he would be
no. Ingold gets some deep targets here and there, but Juszczyk is more consistent.
Ingold is Juszczyk East over there in Miami. Same scheme, but same logic. But Juszczyk is definitely in play. I think everybody knows that though. But Horvath, he scored a touchdown each of the first two games. Hasn't done much since. But the Chargers love having those kind of gimmicky plays around the goal line. So he is absolutely in play. So this is a above average fullback slate for sure.
Yeah, and I actually like Horvath for the value because I think Juszczyk, there is some uncertainty now with McCaffrey here because you have to kind of reconfigure your backfield a little bit because you can't have McCaffrey not running a lot of pass routes. And so that probably will cut into obviously the other backup halfbacks, but also Juszczyk. I think there was a time when everyone was hurt and he was starting to run like 40-50% of the routes each game. Now I think that'll dip down to more like what he was doing in the first and second game of the year. It was around 25-30%. Still very good for a fullback, but because of that, I think Horvath, they're going to need to find creative ways to get offense in this game. This Niner defense is very good. They've had rest. So, and it's going to be tough, with Eckler around the goal line in this spot. So I really do like Horvath. I think he's worth, especially if you're in some of the larger GPPs. I think you want to make some lineups with him. All right, let's talk some luck rankings real quick. Where do we have the Chargers and Niners?
So the Chargers rank 12th actually, and the Niners are 24th. So this is actually, a 12 luck rank differential, which meets the threshold. Usually we say it has to be over 10 for us to consider it. So the 49ers are actually the value play here at -7, which is kind of scary, but I'm probably staying away from this on a betting angle. How about you?
Yeah, I was talking to my dude Stucky about this, and because he's, last week he took the Bucks for our show. He took it at -3, so it was a push, but I was kind of saying my philosophy when I'm trying to take advantage of luck discrepancies and regression to the mean, all that good stuff is I want points. Like I don't want to lay points because that's just kind of canceling out what I'm trying to take advantage of in the first place. I'm trying to be on the right side of variance because I'm getting points and the team has been unlucky. So, it's the same thing like with the Giants. Like I wasn't gonna fade them when they were an underdog. It's like let's wait till they're a favorite and then we can fade the Giants. Or same thing for the Seahawks. So that's kind of my philosophy. So I agree. But it is interesting because it's already kind of setting up as a really good spot for the Niners. I mean, if 7 points on this, it seems like a big number, especially two teams that are considered pretty high quality teams. So, it is an interesting spot, but I think for this slate, it just makes you more confident in maybe using one of
Mhm.
those backup Niner running backs. If it's Mitchell and he's active, if not Ty Davis Price, one of those two guys could be interesting if the Niners have a lead late in the game. Maybe Shanahan takes McCaffrey out and this prize
Yeah.
trade acquisition and get some other
Bubble
guys.
wrap him, yeah. That's a
Right.
good call. And yeah, I mean, I agree. And this is one of those spots where it's perfect for the 49ers. They're a team that's better when they have a lead. Like if they ever get down, it's hard for them to come back. Isn't there some crazy stat with Kyle Shanahan? Like
Yeah, if he doesn't have a
doesn't
lead entering the fourth, I think he's like
yeah,
doesn't.
so that's they're a team where if they are a big favorite, like it's a good spot for them. But yeah, that's why I'm staying away. I think that the spread about 7, especially with all the injuries on the Chargers side, certainly makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is so historically, Kyle Shanahan and the Niners have not been good as a favorite, but they have covered 3 straight, I believe. They still have a
Mhm.
losing record against the spread, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Chargers hang around. But the fact that you just told me that the Niners are actually the unlucky team makes maybe that's a little more unlikely.